So welcome to my laser room, and this is a brand new room that we just had made out during the lockdown. This is where the bulk of the machines that I use every day will sit and will live. And this is my Lumenis M22 platform, and I love this laser. This is the laser I use the most. I use it every single day. I've had Lumenis technology now for about 10 years. This is the second machine that I've had, and I love the way it looks like a character from Star Wars. They obviously know who they're selling to, middle-aged men like me. I won't tell you my actual age. So why do I love this machine? Well, I can treat lots of different indications with this particular platform, and most of my patients who come to see me have Celtic skin. So in this part of the UK, there's a large amount of rosacea patients, so red faces, flushing, red veins, spots. And so I guess because I've been doing this for 10 years, I've built up quite a large practice. So the Lumenis has multiple applications. It has intense pulse light, it has a non-ablative resurfacing laser, it has a long pulse ND YAG, and it has a Q-switch YAG. So in terms of, there's 4 different applications. So to talk about the IPL, first, this is IPL. This is an IPL. So essentially, IPL stands for intense pulse light, visible light spectrum. So it looks exactly the same as the light I have attached to my ceiling. And then when we attach it, or when we put a cutoff filter into the head of the IPL, you can see there's a single colour that appears. So essentially what this cutoff filter will do is it will remove the wavelengths of light beneath, in this case, the 560 nanometer wavelength. So what that means is typically it will tend to target a particular colour in the skin, whether that's, in this case it will be pigment, it will be brown, or if we go to a 590 filter, it will be more like for thread veins, for redness and for rosacea. So because you can have different wavelengths, you can have different colours, it means it's a very flexible device in terms of what you can treat. So when I'm treating patients with rosacea, I'll typically start, or even for skin rejuvenation, I'll typically start with a 640 nanometer filter. So you can see that's a red light, and again, it's a really effective way of not, without injuring the skin, just improving the quality of the skin. So this is the menu of the Lumenis device, and you can see that it really helps you with picking the settings that you're going to treat. So we start by picking a Fitzpatrick skin type. Most of my patients will be a Fitzpatrick 2, and then the light guide can either be a rectangle or a circle. So most of the time I'm going to use my rectangular light guide. And then in terms of my applications, and it'll give you settings to treat rosacea and thread veins and erythema. But probably the setting that I use the most is for sun damage, for general photo rejuvenation. What's really different about the Lumenis device compared to other IPLs I've used is how we can change the pulse. So say for example, on this particular setting, this is to treat for sun damage and for photo rejuvenation, but you can see that actually the pulse, in this case, it's set at just 10 joules. So here we can see the menu. So on this particular setting, we're going to deliver 21 joules per centimeter squared of energy. But what's really nice and flexible about the Lumenis is that the energy is delivered in 3 discrete and separate pulses, which are separated by 2 pulse delays. And these pulse delays of 25 milliseconds each will allow the surface of the skin time to cool, so that when the energy is delivered in these 3 pulses, the chromophore, the target we're trying to treat, will remain at a particular temperature. Actually, you'll get hotter, which is what we want to do. Whereas during this 25 milliseconds, the skin will be allowed will be given time to cool down. So this is based on the concept of thermal relaxation time. So we want to heat up the target in the skin, or the chromophore in the skin. We don't necessarily want to actually injure the surface of the skin itself. And so depending on what we want to achieve, and depending on the size of the target, and if we're treating, say, a vessel, a large blood vessel or flushing rosacea, I'll always use a triple pulse. If, however, we want to be a little bit more aggressive, or it's a smaller vessel, or we're treating some sun damage, I might actually change and deliver the energy in a dual pulse, as you see here. We can even deliver the energy as a single pulse. So if we want to treat, say, superficial pigmentation, benign pigmented lesions, typically we want the energy to be delivered quite superficially for a start, but also in quite a short, sharp shot to kind of, it almost sounds like a Q-switch laser. That's what makes this device really, really unique and really special.